Hello
Yeah.
everyone. Today we have with us uh, Shubhangi ma'am, and today we will have our session on business analytics and the career around data. So she had experience in learning over the same career path, and her insights to the career will help all the aspirants who are trying to build a career in this journey. So let's begin the session. So firstly, I'll introduce Shubhangi a bit. She did her undergraduation from IIT Roorkee. Then she gone to experience this domain in Mastercard as a full-time employee, and then she also got an admit in Columbia University in MS Business Analytics. So yeah, my first thing would be how you will define business analytics as a career.
Saurav, first of all, thank you for giving me the
Thanks.
honor to host this session. I'm really glad if I could be of help to anyone. So, beginning with your first question, how
Yeah.
I define business analytics as a career. Firstly, I would uh, like to highlight that in the industry, business analytics and data analytics are used interchangeably. So both the careers are pretty much similar. The difference comes when you study those, like the business analytics stream of masters is a little different and is in affiliation with business school, and whereas the data analytics part is more on the technical side, but in the industry they are pretty much the same. So starting with how I will define it, I would say that business analytics is content with context. This is the shortest I could define it. So when I say content with context, what do I mean by it is it's an amalgamation of technical and business skills. And so with each digital, like so much of data revolution is ahead of us, and it's already at every step our each digital activity is being recorded and converted to a row of data somewhere in some server. With so much abundance of data, it's really important that we ask the right questions.
Yeah.
It's really important that uh, I have a stack of data, I don't know like what to analyze. So first, your first step is to ask the right question, and to ask the right question it is necessary to have some business knowledge. uh,
Yeah.
so that is where business and business analytics help. Once you know what your right set of questions are, you can use your leverage your technical skills and to derive the answers to those questions from data. So that is how I define the field of business analytics. And going further, I will also cover the skills and
Yeah.
what generally a business analyst do in an organization.
Yeah.
So being a BA, you must have strong skill set in descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. Now,
Okay.
some of you might feel that I'm just throwing jargons, but I would like to break them down into simple words, into as what they are. So once you know what your business problem is, what are the things that you're trying to address, you as a business analyst you need to understand what are the correct KPIs to measure those things. So by KPIs, I mean the key performance indicators. That is what fields, what variables you need to create. How do you visualize them? So once you know what are the KPIs, you go to the visualization step of the data where you see how trends vary within the data. What fields could be related to some other fields, and how do they move along with time or with space. Once And to visualize the data, the important tools would be it's good to note SQL, Tableau, and Python, or any one of these is fine for only for visualization purpose. And sometimes the problems are like they for example, a client just needs a dashboard where you need to put together all the visualizations that you have made
Yeah.
and make it interactive in a way that client can play around with it and see how their business is performing. Um, then some projects also involve predictive part where you need to know machine learning and Python. Uh, so predictive, I think that is the most common part that people think about when they think about business analytics, because they think that business analytics is all about machine learning. But I would like to tell all those people that it's not just machine learning. Machine learning is the last step. Running a model is the easiest thing you can do, but to ask right questions to derive the right KPIs for your analysis, that takes a lot of business question, a lot of technical expertise as well. Machine learning comes later.
Okay. Like,
So,
I want to just
mhm,
add one thing. Like, as you
mhm,
mentioned, it's an amalgamation of tech and business. So,
yeah.
what will be the skills one can acquire developing its business acumen while pursuing
So,
this?
yeah, that's a really nice question, Saurabh. So for business acumen, there is not really any skill that you can acquire, you can learn online. It comes with practice, it comes with experience, it comes with solving more case studies. So, like if you any of you would have gone through books like Case in Point or solved some guesstimates, there are so those kind of problems make you think in the direction of business. When I say cases, I don't mean the cases as an calculate estimate the number of trees in Gurgaon or something. I mean that let's say for example, there is City Bike here in New York, so I'm analyzing a case for City Bike, where I also have the data for City Bike. I know what are the problems that they are facing, and then I look into data to find the solutions to those. uh, Only with practice can you gain business acumen. Nobody can teach you business acumen in one day.
So,
So
it will come with experience.
yeah, with experience and more you expose yourself to case studies
Yeah.
and solving problems on Kaggle. So those things would expose you both to technical as well as business aspects, because you would know what are the right questions to ask.
To ask. Yeah.
Mhm. And so the last part is after I'm done with the prediction, it's
Yeah.
my work doesn't end there.
Yeah. It's
Recommending the
just a strategy.
strategy, yeah, recommending the strategy to client. If you have done all the work but you can't recommend anything out of it, so what is the use of doing all that
Anything.
hard work? Yeah. So that is what comes in the prescriptive part of the analytics, and it requires skill set like optimization, statistics, and again business acumen plays a role there. So that's why we see that as a person progresses more and more in an organization, their business acumen expands, and they are able to do this work very efficiently. They are able to ask the right questions, give the strategic recommendations very easily, uh, compared to someone who has just started in the field.
Yeah. So,
And I just have one more point to add,
sure.
because that is the hot topic right now. So it's big data.
Yeah.
Now, with so much of data, it's not possible that you'll be given a 5,000 row Excel file and told that you have to conduct an analysis there. So
Yeah.
it makes no sense. So that's why big data is an upcoming field, and every business analyst has to have acquire some big data skills. The skill set includes Spark, Hadoop, Scala. You should know this. Then only you would be able to give your best shot.
Yeah, I think this session people can hear again and again to just remember all the things because yeah, things are really
Mhm.
informative in this. And one more thing was Like,
Mm-hmm.
as business analysis involve both tech and business, so it can
Yeah.
be seen that this field can build the future managers out of it because people are working more towards data.
Yeah, so future managers in analytics field.
Yeah,
So yes, because the what should I say? The weightage of business is high. I could say that future managers can come out of this role.
yeah. And the next part would be like the addition of your point, which you gave at last. As a
Mm-hmm.
big data came in, there will be more
Mm-hmm.
such things coming in the future. So, how
Mm-hmm.
you shaped your roadmap from starting in this career path as new skills, new tricks are
Uh-huh.
coming?
Okay, that's really interesting because it takes me back to the time when I was a fresher in college and I was just trying my hands on coding. I was doing
Okay.
so at that time, data analytics was just kicking off, and not a lot of
Yeah.
people were aware about it. So even I got my first encounter with data analytics when I was in my third year of college.
Okay.
So that is the time when I started exploring this field. I look forward to the sources online. I did some online courses and got an internship in the field. That internship was really the turning point, which told me that yes, this is the field
Yeah.
that I want to remain in, and this interests me the most. Uh, so when so again, the roadmap that I followed was don't be afraid to try out new things, because you might come across something that you find interesting, but if you don't try out that thing, you might not even know what your true interest is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So as a then once I had that internship, I learned basics of statistics and machine learning there. Afterwards, I to in my college placement, I was hired by Mastercard Advisors, which was a turning point journey for me. I was hired as a data analyst, and that is the place where I learned most about how analytics as an industry is, what all possible projects are there, what not just that, I also acquired some business acumen and functioning of fintech, how a fintech operates, and I think the learning that I got there, I could easily extrapolate it to other fields as well. So that was a really great point in my life. And yeah, I think if you have any specific questions about it, that would be great.
Yeah. I would ask, like, as you started doing an internship in
Mm-hmm.
work in business analytics, and that was the period where you learned most about the field.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like you in business analytics, one should experience both learning and experience on the same time. That would help you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you
Yeah.
say?
Totally.
Like, should
So I am a little unclear about your the question you're asking.
yeah,
So can you go again?
I'll yeah. So it's like learning while doing a work that helps
Mm-hmm.
in business acumen and developing a business analyst portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
when you work with the business, then you understand how you can aid it.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So when you say learning with work, I think both of them are not different. While working, you'll always learn something that you were not even looking for.
yeah.
So
It's
so
just simply
that's
that.
there. Yeah. Uh,
So how you decided for your masters while doing your work?
So when I was in Mastercard, as I told, that was the biggest point in
Yeah,
my life till now, where the learning point, biggest learning point in my life. So when I saw the endless possibilities that exist, I also understood that what all things are there, what all skill sets are there that I am lacking at the moment, which I could do better if I have foundational knowledge about those skills. So that was the point when I decided that I want to go for masters. I was a little confused. Should I go for an MBA? Should I go for a master's? But after thinking for some time and setting my objectives, like what do I want out of this degree. Do I want to become a manager, or do I want to acquire some skills which I feel are currently lacking in my day-to-day job. So that's what made me realize that masters is the better track for me, and here I am.
So I would say like this business analytics skills help you while making the career decisions, because you can set the right questions for you while you ask about your career.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting way to look at it. But yes, I agree with you.
Like when you just told me, I just found the KPIs which you put in a place to understand. So yeah,
Yes. So even in your normal life, the thinking approach gets structured. You are
right.
more, yeah, in dealing any problem in your life, any questions in your life, you can think step by step.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
your career is about it. So yeah.
Yeah.
So the next would be like people are so like the industry is so overhyped with this
Hmm.
word like data is the new oil,
Yeah.
and everyone says this around. So
Hmm.
how you look at it as a business analyst? How you
So
define it? Yeah.
I cannot agree more with this sentence. Data is the new oil. And it has been one of my motivations to come into this field, this very statement. Uh, yeah, but being in the industry, I can see that data is everywhere. I also mentioned earlier in my talk that at every point, our digital activities are being recorded. uh, there is a row of data created somewhere, and this is just going to grow as the technological revolution is is just growing and growing. It is just growing, it is just going to grow. The data, there will be obviously more privacy policies around it in the coming future, and that would, I see it as a very a new field that will come out of it, out of all the data that is being collected, because privacy is not a current focus right now, but I see it as an emerging field in the future. um, and with the ever increasing data, the possibilities are just going to increase. They're not going to go into dump anywhere soon.
So like new industries can even come from data analytics or data.
Yeah. So even like when I came here, I got to know that there is analytics in music industry as well these days. So musicians who did their who did their undergrad in music are now studying business analytics, so that they can amalgamate both the fields. That's
So
really
it's
amazing.
like aiding every industry now as
Yeah.
people are
Mhm.
interacting.
Wherever there is data, wherever there is digitalization, there is going to be scope for this job.
So like my other part would be more focused towards your master,
Mm-hmm.
as there are aspirants who might get confused while applying for a university, like they should just
Mm-hmm.
straight away go to masters after their undergrad, or they
Mm-hmm.
should wait for some time, take experience, and then.
Yeah.
So how was your experience, or how would you say about
So,
it?
yeah. So, I would recommend taking some experience and then going for masters. Why I say so is because I personally felt that after being in industry for a while, I knew what skill sets I am missing and what do I have to gain from my masters. So, masters in most of the universities in US is like you can design your own curriculum. You can you like, let's say you want to go more into natural language processing, so you can take majors in that direction. If you want to go more in the financial engineering side, you can design it that way. So being in industry at least helps you know what you want to do, with direction you want to go in. And also it while studying, while doing your masters, let's say I'm studying a subject called optimization. Now I know what is the industry application of this subject. Like if I learn this theorem, how am I going to apply it in the industry? There is an objective, a clear objective, and that helps you gain the best. So I
Okay,
would
so
recommend. Mhm.
it just aid in every step to know the real information to relate it to industry.
Yes, yes. There is a, if you have a higher objective, there is obviously you are going to be more productive in your journey.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
the other part was like how you decided for university, how you decided to
Okay.
go about it.
Okay, so I was quite ambitious with my search for masters. So I was pretty confident that if I get into these top seven universities, which are of my choice, only then I'm going to take the admit. Otherwise, I'll continue working for one more year and then apply again.
Okay.
So I was lucky that I got into one of those seven universities. So. But while you're searching for your universities, don't just go by the name of the universities. Also have a look at the courses that they're offering. What is the structure of the course? What all are they going to teach you in that course? What is their approach as in if the assignments are also practical in nature, or there are projects, talk to alumni, ask them how their curriculum is designed. Are there any projects which will help you gain real industry experience? So that's pretty much it. That is how I shortened my list to seven universities.
Okay. So like
Mhm.
how was it, how is your experience going on with your course?
It's really amazing. I have not been so happy in past some time. The learning is really good, and most importantly, because I chose it for myself, I'm enjoying it
Yeah.
very much. So
Okay.
that's really amazing. Learning things that you thought that in last 3.5 years at Mastercard, I always thought that I want some time to learn this. Want some time to learn that. I want to acquire the skill, and now is the time. So I'm
Time you
really
can get.
enjoying it. Yeah.
Okay. And the other part was that like while you applied for university, you might
Mhm.
have certain processes on it. So
Yeah.
the one part, yeah. So the one part which I want to talk first was SOP.
Mm-hmm.
So how you worked on it because it's pretty like crucial step while
Yeah.
finding it. Admit, yeah.
So SOP is, I would say, more important than even resume. So SOP is really, really important, and you should take your good amount of time and a lot of iterations to make the final draft of your SOP before submitting it. So how to go about it is, if you have any alumni in the field who are doing what you want to do, or have done what you want to do, so ask them, talk to them, ask them how they went about it, ask them for sample SOPs, their SOPs. They must have some content that they can share with you. Uh, After reading those SOPs, you will get an idea of how you want to frame your SOP. I can divide it into 4 to 5 basic parts, like what all things should be there in SOP. But I'm pretty sure that even on Google you will find some
Yeah,
information
you
about
can
it.
easily Google it.
Yeah, yeah. So, but please talk to your alumni, any alumni that you know. They are of very much help, and at least
Yeah.
in my case, I was very inspired by them.
Okay. So the one thing which it is about going back to your college when you were doing
Mhm.
your undergraduation. So
Yeah.
as you were exploring a new field in on your
Mm-hmm.
third year as a business analytics,
Mm-hmm.
so how did you manage to be in it? Because people are trying out things which are generic in nature, which they
Mm-hmm.
are which people are pursuing from like past 10 years, like machine
Mm-hmm.
learning or some other things. So
Mm-hmm.
build the confidence in yourself about pursuing the business analytics?
Yes. So when companies are hiring freshers, there are a lot of organizations that don't focus much on how much you know about machine learning yet. Obviously, now that the competition is so much and everybody's aware of machine learning and
Yeah.
they are studying, so it gives you a competitive edge. But for my case, what I saw was the weightage was more on the quantitative skills, like how good are you with math, how good you are with guesstimates, what your resume speaks. Like your resume should speak about some interest in the field.
In the particular field, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that was the thing for me, but I'm pretty sure that the competition has grown. So I would recommend, in the current scenario, I would recommend people to touch on some topics that would certainly be there in your interview, like statistics, probability, and some of your experience with machine learning. They will certainly ask you for explain to explain some of your project which was related to analytics. So I if you don't have any projects yet and
Yeah.
you want to start in the field, I would recommend going through Kaggle and doing some real life projects. You can maybe contact some professors, you can maybe do some internships to design your profile in this towards this path.
Yeah. And like many people are shifting toward business analysts, like from different domains. So
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have this subject in their course curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
So how should one should go about strengthening their skills in it and then
Mm-hmm.
building a career in it? Like
Mm-hmm.
what courses or what domain things they can pursue?
So, like as I mentioned, the some of the skills would be knowing SQL, which is a query language,
Yeah.
knowing Python, knowing statistics, knowing about optimization. Business comes with practice, and I'm pretty sure that anybody would be able to grab it with some practice in the field. But knowing these skills, keeping them handy is a really good start, and that would help you achieve your dream job.
Okay. Like I think there are some questions from audience side.
Mm-hmm.
So so there's one question like, is there any short courses which you can recommend in this
Mm-hmm.
data analytics? And do they help in getting a job or getting a skill acquired as recruiters have their like they understand their courses value, like
Mm-hmm.
short courses?
Okay, so firstly, that's a really nice question, and I too had that question when I was at the same point as when I was not here, not in the industry. So I would say that those short courses. Firstly, I'll recommend the short course that you're
Yeah.
talking about. So you can go with the applied machine learning course in EDX. It's really nice. It is called Analytics Edge, and that gives you a pretty clear picture of how you can apply machine learning, what are problems you can use machine learning for. And once you have those skills, once you also acquire some Python knowledge, you can go to Kaggle and start solving some of their most basic challenges. That will maybe the course in itself is a little diverse, and it does not tell you outrightly how your approach should be. Like by doing that course you might not know how should I approach, but by attempting those challenges in Kaggle, you would certainly have a better understanding, and you would be in a good place to talk to an employer.
Okay. Yeah. I think this pretty much sums it all as a
Mm-hmm.
person who can start in the data analytics part, business analytics part. So, how was your experience with us and having this
Yeah.
conversation?
So I my experience was pretty awesome. As I told you that it
Yeah,
was an honor being there, being here, and Saurabh has been really good with coordinating the effort across the time zones. So thank you, Saurabh, and I would
thanks to
recommend
you.
scholarship track to more people that I
Yeah,
come
thanks
across.
a lot for that. Yeah, I think, yeah, should we wrap up the whole
Yeah,
thing?
sure. Mhm.
Yeah. And if there were some more conversations, you can connect with her on LinkedIn if it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Mhm.
And talk to her about anything or tell her views about the same discussion we had. Thanks for the
Yeah.
session.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Saurabh. Bye.